Morning, folks. It is Christmas. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody's doing well on Christmas Day. Not too sure when this video is going to be uploaded. If I get lucky, I get it uploaded before my, to-do list to get started. Run short on time. Well, slept just a little bit longer than I intended. But anyway, got some Jolly Roger here from Black Ship Grooming whipped up here in this particular container. This container is no longer available, but there is a tin one with a lid that might interest some folks. This one here is a ceramic piece, and I've had this one for a moment. Jolly Roger is still being made, just not quite like what I'm using today. I also whipped it up with a boar bristle. I think this is needs some more water maybe. I don't know. We'll make do with what we got here. This is a Mega Brush. I think it's got a 23 millimeter knot. Model number 10065, and I'll go into a little bit more about that in just a moment, but this is a pretty cool setup. As it goes for what was across the top, there was a little thin piece that looks like a coaster. I have it, I just didn't bring it here in the bathroom with me. But anyway, I thought this was a cool setup, so I got one or two of these kind of containers, and I also got the one that's in the tin mug. I'll have a link down below for this cool stuff. The Aftershave, like I said, is still being made. It's just not being made like this. I've had this one here for a moment. Matter of fact, this one here, yeah, 6.5 ounces. Pretty good size container. And I do have to shake this one up. I do like what he did on the back side here. It does go ahead and tell you what the some of the scent profile on this one here is. And for instance, we've got some cardamom, orange, rum, ginger, cinnamon, so you kind of get the idea of what Jolly Roger might smell like. But just a cool container, that's for sure. Shaver of the day is equipped with the Loi blade. I think that's how you pronounce it, L-O-I. It's a titanium blade, and it comes by the way of Bangladesh. Cardboard box there with 5 blades in it. And using the special edition from Fatip, this, I'm going to use the open comb. It also comes with a one with a safety bar, which will be a little bit milder shave than the open comb. Nice contrasting colors with the gunmetal and the gold. Just really just a great looking shaver. I mean, that contrast just looks fantastic. Thought today would be a good day to use that one. Oh, I should say the brush. When you see it online at Pasteur's, this is something I got along with the my order one day. If there's the order, if the number has a S165, S meaning that's the synthetic knot, and if it doesn't have the S, that means it's a natural bore. The website may have some of that switched up. That is something to pay attention to with all of them, because Omega uses the same number. They just put S in front of the model number just to denote that it's a synthetic, not as opposed to a natural boar bristle. But yeah, I don't know. I may add some more water to it. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning. We'll be using the Christmas cube from Penis Artisan Accoutrements, and hopefully I'll have time. I don't know. I have things I need to do this morning, of course. Had things I had to do yesterday, which kept me up kind of late, which means I kind of slept in just a little bit this morning. So hopefully, hopefully I'll get it uploaded earlier in the day instead of later in the day, but we'll see how this works out. I might get lucky, who knows. But it's kind of chilly this morning. It's in a way, it's kind of a Christmas-like weather. The temperature is 23 degrees last time I checked it. I think it's supposed to get down to 21, or it could be 21, who knows. But anyway, it's cold. We're going over to my parents' house to celebrate Christmas. And matter of fact, you know, typically here of late, we go over to my parents' house maybe once a month. You know, with COVID and everything else that's going on, we're trying to limit that sort of thing. Even though we're talking on the phone and text messages and stuff like that, but trying to limit our visits so that way, hopefully we're not toting anything over there. in the way of a virus or even the flu as far as that goes. Last time I had the flu, it was pretty rough. But it seems like if I get it, I get it. If there's no half-stepping. I have to say again, I really do like the scent of this Preshave cube. It works well for my nose. My nose picks it up. It really does seem to like it. And it kind of seems like my nose does like the what might be considered straightforward scents. I've smelt this scent before. I just can't place where my cube's over there. Hope everybody's doing well on Christmas. It can be quite of a trying time for some folks. Several years ago, my mother-in-law died about a month after Christmas, and it's always been pretty hard on my wife, and it's getting better as time goes on, but even though it's about 15 years ago, it's still holidays sometimes, you know. It is kind of tough on some folks when they've lost a loved one, but things are looking up for my wife. She's doing better, I guess you might say, as when it comes around the holidays. She was doing pretty good yesterday. Had no problem adding to my to-do list. Here we go. Now, the open comb, if you're unfamiliar with Fatip, or Fatip, depending on how you want to pronounce it, the open comb does have a blade feel. So if you're looking for a shave that might feel a little bit on the aggressive side, it's not overly aggressive in my opinion, but there's definitely a blade feel to it. Still very much usable in my opinion, but it does come with that one plate with the safety bar, which would give you a somewhat gentler shave, if you will. Just want to throw that out there, because if you're not familiar with Fatip, this open comb, it's efficient. I don't mind it, even though I can feel the blade. It doesn't. It feels relatively smooth to me going across the whiskers. It may have a lot to do with the blade. And of course, it does help to have a reasonable slickness with your soap. It's been a little while since I mentioned it, but the reason why I like for my lather to be wet, moist, almost drippy, is because of the slickness that usually brings with being that wet. But I thought this was a pretty good setup. Oh, weight of the shaver, about 2.5 ounces. It's pretty close to that, 70 grams. It's pretty close to 2.5 ounces. It's a fairly solid razor. I don't, if I remember right, this is the solid handle. I think it's the Grande, however you want to pronounce it. The handle where it's bigger in diameter, but it's hollow. So, and I think the weight is pretty close to being the same. I like this one here. I got a link down below for it. The link I have, it's selling for about $35, and the usual everyday price, not that the Maggots is where I got it linked to, that's their everyday price. It's not marked down, but it's more common to find it at the $40 mark than it is $35. Just want to throw that out there. It's not a real expensive shaver in my opinion, considering you're getting the other plate, so you can kind of got 2 razors in one. For $35, that's a pretty good buy. And it's a good looking shaver. Boy, I tell you what, to me it just pops. That just really looks nice. Yeah, when I first got this, I was hunting high and low for it, because it seemed to have a hard time staying in stock. And how I found out about this particular shaver was one of the Italian YouTube shavers was using it. I think it was Luca. I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly who it was. There's two of them that I kind of follow every once in a while, especially when it comes to Italian gear, because they seem to get it before we do, which makes sense. YouTube, when it comes to the closed caption, interpreting Italian over into English, so I have some sort of idea what they're talking about. It's kind of like Vladimir. He's wanting to know when I can get this closed caption in Russian so that he can understand what's going on, and because sometimes that translation doesn't work out all that well, but I get a pretty good idea sometimes what's going on with them, and I enjoy watching them from time to time, especially when they're using hardware that I haven't seen just yet, and kind of interested in, I can get a little glimpse of an idea of what their opinion is of it. Plus I get to see it in action. This is a pretty good painter. Like I said, $6, $5.99. This is pretty good value. Oh, the link, I think I said this, maybe I didn't. The link I have down below is the link to the green one, the green handled one. Which I don't know. That green, the more I got to looking at it, the more I started to like it. When I first saw it, it's a dark green, and I wasn't too sure about it, and kind of thinking maybe I should get that handle. It looked pretty good. I like the red. Red's one of my favorite colors. It is right there at the top of the list. Certain shades of blue I do like, but red is, yeah, red. And then of course then there's green, especially if it's a bright green, and shave gear really looks good. Razor Rock had the Hawk. They had a green version of that, and it looked really good. Or I say it does look good. But I don't know if they're making any more of the version 2. Hope they do, because I never did get around to getting one of those green ones. Got others that I haven't got yet, still on the priority list, I guess you might say, to get list. Just a little bit of feedback on the against the grain pass. This is a efficient shaver. 2 passes for me would have been just right. I could have worked in just two passes and been done. It's a pretty efficient shaver in my opinion. But there is a blade feel. You want to be aware of that. In other words, with it coming with the safety bar version, the gentle one, I guess you might say. My thoughts on that is that if you're struggling with the against the grain pass with a shaver that is efficient or as aggressive as this one here, no longer than what it takes to swap out the base plate. That makes it, to me, a pretty nice setup, almost an adjustable, if you will, because it doesn't take that long to swap out the plate and do your against the grain pass, so that your neck isn't getting too sore or breaking out or anything of the sort like that. I've used matter of fact, the last video I did with it was with the safety bar, and it's a pretty good shaver. I mean, it feels nice and smooth. Don't even have a lick of trouble out of it. Or this one here is for me as far as that goes. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement Alum Block, complete with rubber band. Going to check out, yeah, I got a little bit of stinging, not a whole lot. It's kind of expected with a shaver like this every once in a while to have just a wee bit of stinging. That one whisker keeps the one to stick straight out. It is Christmas, so it's going to give me a hard time, isn't it? Oh, should mention, in case you're kind of wondering, sometimes if you get a little bit of irritation, maybe the shave didn't go quite as well, got a bad match with the shaver and the blade, Nivea Aftershave Balm is a good one to choose. You can pick it up right around the $5 mark. It's not too terribly expensive. And or you could use the Nivea cream. This cream really does a number on my skin. In other words, calms it down. Whatever issue you might have. In other words, if I get where the shave was not quite where I like for it to be, and it's a little sore up underneath here is the typical spots, that aftershave balm or this cream puts the hurting on that right quick. I mean, shortly thereafter, the soreness has gone away. It's back to normal, I guess you might say. Good stuff. Both of them, I think, are right around the $5 mark. You can get a smaller tin than that one there. If you're lucky, you can find a travel tin at Walmart, I think for about $1. At least it was when I got mine. If you want to try something like that out. Nivea's got a pretty decent lineup for men's shaving gear, if you will. But the easiest place to find the shaving cream in the tube, whether it's sensitive or the original, in other words, the white tube or the blue tube, for me has been Amazon is the easiest place to find it besides eBay. But if you're already like an Amazon Prime member, you know, that sort of thing, you know, it makes it easier. Usually the creams are like in a 3-pack or a 4-pack. Somewhat reasonably priced, especially considering how hard it is to get it nowadays. I'm going to go ahead and shake this up. Shake it up before I started the video, but this is one of those that you do want to shake up. Now, I don't know if the one that's in a different container nowadays is the same as this one. If you need to shake it up, he may have changed the formulation up just a tad bit. Trying to be careful, especially not to get on the label. The label's not waterproof, this label isn't. But this is a very, I guess you might say, spicy type scent. Kind of makes you think of Christmas morning. I think in the on the website it mentions Christmas cookies maybe, which kind of makes me think that way. It is a really nice scent. Very spicy scent for me. My nose loves it. Great shave this morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Have a great time on Christmas Day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Smooth shaves to you.